Let's see. All right. Okay, so here I am. Look what a beautiful setup. And I didn't do it by purpose. Look at this. This is my bed, even if I sleep on the floor because it's better for your muscle. It's more disciplined, you know. I remember that I always used to think, man, you know, do you think that people like Genghis Khan, Giulio Cesare, guerrieri, soldati, do you think that warriors, soldiers, you know, went to the bed with his covers and was like, like this, his covers, No, hell no, no. In the fight, soldiers didn't sleep. First of all, sleep 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm not saying it's good. It's not good for your health. Obviously, they have a lot of problems. But I'm saying that you can do a lot of more than this, and you are limiting you. And I am limiting myself. I don't want to speak for anybody. I just speak for myself because I don't want to teach to anybody because everybody doesn't give a fuck. So I'm just doing this for me. I was thinking this uh, when I was making I was taking the shower. It makes me fun because nobody needs these videos, these types of videos that I'm doing because at the end of the I'm just talking to myself and about my life and about how I can improve my life, not yours. And everyone who tries to improve your life, I think that because I watched a lot of those videos, they helped me, but they didn't help me because they helped me. If you catch what I'm trying to say, they helped me because I started to help myself. So I thought that only these videos can do something if can do something because maybe because I'm speaking freely. I'm trying to speaking freely, like if there wouldn't be a camera, even if it's impossible, I'm wearing a mask, absolutely, and I'm not like this in the real life, absolutely, yes, absolutely, yes, you know, and but maybe some people can think, look at what Vinicius just said. I thought that I was the only one that was in this thinking and was in this problem or had this dream, this goal. No, I'm not the only one. And I I used I think that that feeling is one of the most powerful. I know that when I feel that when I watch videos on internet, I feel like really good. I feel solid because I don't feel alone. I feel understood, and that makes me just positive. I just want to go positive. I just want to to uh, to do positive thing and to vibrating positive particles, positive atoms in the atmosphere. Just want to do that. And 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 che faccia di and, I'm a crazy guy. And nothing, because I didn't never see, if a video like honest like this, I think. Not honest, like it's not honest. It's see, yes, I'm trying to be honest. I want to be honest. I'm being the most I'm being honest, but I mean, I never see a video this this about this law of professionality of about this law of not giving a fuck. As you can see, I'm in the house of my mom with the bed that she bought, with all my peach tours. Well, that's cool. I'm in pajama. I never saw a guy like this because in the internet you see that all of them are trying to stand out, but it's good. I even do that in the real life, absolutely. I i i don't act like like a cringe guy or like a stupid guy. No, I don't wear these things. No, I wear good. I'm good. I'm serious, because in the real life, image counts absolutely in the first impression. So you know we can say balance, even if I do not try to be balanced in my life. I just go for what I want. That's it. But I understand balance. It's very important. But as the David Goggins says, you get balance once you become great. When you become great, yes, if you want, you can get balance. But if you're not great, what the fuck you are doing with balance? What the fuck are you doing? And nothing. And I always think that all these things that I'm saying are very, you know, are very are very obvious because are very obvious. But for me, I'm understanding now. So it's like a kid discovering a, a new thing, and saying it out loud how much as he can. And I'm doing this, because I always believed in love, in unconditional love. I also believe I I never thought about money. I always thought that all people were super good, that all people were thinking about me, and that people would wanted the best for me, and that all people loves me and I love them. But it's not like that. But I live like that because that makes me feel the best. So I live like that. But so I'm discovering this, and I'm just saying, because it's impossible that everyone, of you knows this. There is gonna be a guy, probably more younger than me, like 15, 14, that if he hears that from a boy, from a man, because I'm a man of 19 years old, you know, I think that I can impact him in a positive way. I don't want to impact anybody. I mean, he can take inspiration by this video and give inspiration to you, uh, you know to say, all right, I think I you maybe a guy says, I now think as Vinicius used to when he was younger. Now he thinks like this. Why? Is he saying? How is he now? And just discover new things. And another thing that I'm really happy about, and I feel in peace now, quite in peace, yes, with myself. That I'm 19 years old. I'm I'm a man, so it's time to go and make money and go to the world. I'm not no more a kid, but I mean. Uh, as you can see why I'm saying all of this, because well, I know this wasn't obvious for me. Absolutely not. This wasn't obvious for me. All the things I'm saying, that is all about money. Yes, it's incredible, but in my mind there wasn't the idea that this building, this lighting, the food I was eating, the dresses, the possibility to go to school, the books were paid like money. I knew it, but they always come to me without I didn't do nothing. So you can understand me. For me, money it isn't have been never a real thing, because I come from the classical middle class family. That it's the worst position you can be, because if you're poor, you understand absolutely how things works in this world. That it's only with about money. You know, I used to always listen about these people that used to say that this so this is how the world works, and I used to think, works how. So now I'm telling you. Before I said they begin to understand how the world works. Then I stopped and say money. It works with money. Just that. It's not so complicated. It works only with money. Stop. That's it. Very good. Once you know that, you feel, oh, right. There are not so many, you know, mental masturbation. There are. It's clear. It's clear what you need to think and what you need to do. Money. But remember to the list I did it. Because another thing that I thought today, you know, you see how much I'm thinking, and you know how thinking is important. A philosophy, a philosophist, a philosophist said that. I don't know who, maybe Seneca. Sorry for my said this that you know the the way a man think is the way the man act. The way the man act is the way is the way a man act creates a character. A character creates a destiny. I miss that. Surely I miss some phrase, some words, but the meaning is that everything starts from the thinking. So now that I don't have social media, for example, today I was in the bus and I counted people. There were 17 people, and like 11 people, 11 people in 17 were using the phone, you know, and the other, 6 people were older guys or were young guys that were not using the phone, but I think that they were listening to music podcast. I used to, since 2 weeks ago, I was that type of guy that, well, he in whenever moment I would wear, the headphones and listen to podcast how to be a millionaire, and listen to this young kid that is a millionaire, and all these things. But I'm understanding that I have more possibilities, and I can become more a millionaire if I stay with myself and if I don't do nothing, because I'm not doing nothing actually. You know why? Because I'm thinking. When you listen to music, you think. I thought, for example, when I used to listen to music, or now today I listen to music, but only one music, only one repeated. Then I stopped because it was deconcentrating me. It's way better to study without music. But for example, today, I wasn't really motivated. I don't believe in motivation, absolutely not. But I thought, let's put a little bit of music, and I put a music that him him that is my grandfather, my Argentina grandfather, Jorge, que è nel cielo mirándome y guiándome. Absolutamente sí, el padre de mi padre es argentino. Estoy hablando en español, ¿viste? Una de sus canciones favoritas y, y, era Vincerò di Luciano Pavarotti. Quindi today I was thinking about him, about Jorge, my abuelo, and my grandfather, and I asked to my dad, what was that Italian song that you always told me that it was his favorite, and I didn't remember that song, because I wasn't paying attention. I was not with my heart, because I was not focused in the present moment for this fucking phone, for this fucking social media, for this fucking internet, only for this way. So I didn't know that. So I didn't know the title of the song. I asked him. He told me he resonate a little bit, and then he thought, yes, Vincerò di Luciano Pavarotti. L'ho ascoltata I was really emotional. I listened that while I was studying, and I felt very good. I felt in peace. I was thinking about him, and he gives me a lot of energy. So why am I saying this? Because of music, yes, of podcast. So you don't need. So I feel that I can have more chances of getting a millionaire if no of yes getting a millionaire if I think, if I don't listen to music, if I don't listen to podcast of another man, that man is thinking, and that man is producing like I'm doing now. That man is producing and can produce because he thinks. And what I am, I'm a follower. I don't want to be a follower. For that motive, in the yesterday video, I said, do not watch my videos, guys. Do not watch them. I don't need that you watch my videos, and I don't want absolutely that you watch them. So maybe you are asking, and why, Vinicius? You made like in total today like almost 2 hours of video, because I want to do that. I like to talk. You know, I don't talk to nobody, boy. I don't talk to nobody. I mean, I talk with people absolutely, but you know, many times I feel even better like talking like this. I like doing this. I like to sit and talk because I'm reflecting. Because if you talk with the people that used to be, that is like I used to be 2 weeks ago. So with mobile phone and not present at the full of moment, he likes that he infects you, So I try to perseverate me, perseverate what I'm trying to build, you understand. And and you know and you can understand a lot of things because you understand why doesn't give a fuck rich people that doesn't give a fuck about poor people. I always used to think, but why rich people like Elon Musk that have is the richest man in the world, have all this fucking money that he can clean his ass, he can fire him, he can put on fire the money. Why one day he doesn't go outside and gives money to everybody, he can do that, no? But I understand it, maybe obviously he don't do this for different reason. But if I have to think to the majority of rich people, of wealthy people, they don't do that because if they started uh, if so come si dice soprattutto in a special way, if they started poor here, they know like the shit that there is here. They they know, so they know how people acted when he was poor. Uh, and now he see all these people that act kind, that act sympathetic, and he doesn't give a fuck. And he doesn't have any emotional feeling for the poor people because he was one. Uh, the only difference that he was pissed off. He worked a lot, and gives nobody gave him that money. Nobody gave them. He went. He fought without any any guaranteeing of success, but he fought like there was one, and I I'm sure that is the only that is the only way uh, you can win, or acting like that you're gonna win, you know. So when he get rich, he doesn't give a fuck about poor people, and it's for that motive that rich people looks antipathic. I used to say that a lot. I used to think that rich people are bad. I'm poor. I'm good. No, no, completely not conscious. You know why I was not conscious? For this fund. For this fund. Not this phone. I used to have another one, but it's always the internet. It's YouTube on this phone, or in the other one that I used to have is the same. So it, it doesn't change nothing. You understand me, no? Right? So nothing. I completely get it. So it's for that motive that I don't feel greedy for the rich when I see a man with a beautiful car and a beautiful woman. I don't see it like that. Like I think that many people do because I used to be that person. I used to be that person. So I think that many people do like I I used to do some time ago because I used to do it. So it's logical, no? That sit there, I used to sit there and think, oh, look at this bastard. It's he's lucky. Yeah, it's 100% sure that his parents were rich and he didn't do nothing and blah blah blah. No, motherfucker, no, no, absolutely not. Everything is not for free. He had to fight for it. So now I go and as I said in the last video that I did today, before I was doing the shower, before I would take the I would have taken the shower. I think you you say it like that. You say it like that. So for example, imagine if one day I'm sure it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get rich. Like at 30 years old. You know, imagine how I'm gonna feel. Do you think I'm gonna give a fuck about about poor people or about even girls? Do you think I'm gonna believe in love, in a true love? No, but because it's simply true love doesn't exist in the way that we in the way that I used to think it, that is unconditional. No, there is always a condition. So nothing. Uh, when I will get rich, I will not give a fuck about poor people, nothing, because I was a poor people. I didn't have nothing. And mostly, I'm gonna see the shit of the world a little bit, even if the world is beautiful and it's perfect. Yeah, God is here. But maybe I think that because I'm from a middle class. And quite surely, I think that because I'm from a middle class. If now I was in Argentina or in Colombia or yes, in South America, South America, Africa, I was thinking very different. But from my experience now, life is pretty good. But if I get rich, I will understand really the shit of the world because I will start seeing that people begins to treat me different, but not for me, but for them because they see me that I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I can be used for them. This is the speech I made in the last video that from that I watched the video from Andrew Tate. Everyone is trying to utilize you. So see how I get wealthy and see how people starts so the lights so it starts I have the phone uh, behind the electrical all right so, like this. So you know I'm gonna see how people is going to treat me different. You're gonna say yes, but are different people that oh of that used to to not talk to you, to not watch to you, to not give a fuck about you. No, 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 are the same people because even if I go now to all the people of the world, they are gonna treat me all equal because I'm poor. I'm poor. I can't use them. No, so sorry. They can't use me. I'm I'm not useful to them. So as you can see, everyone is just thinking about them, and I even thought about this, that you know I used to be mad at girls. I used to think, oh, girls are really good, are really evil, they are beautiful, they are really lucky, they don't have to do nothing. Why men have to suffer so much? Because girls, because girls doesn't want me, uh, and they are beautiful and they have all the men they can possibly desire, and blah 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 blah. But this is shit. This is absolutely false, because if you see a girl, even a life of a beautiful girl is pretty hard, because he knows that men watch her because he's beautiful, and a day that he's not that beautiful, men watch them less, men want her less. So what's the difference? What's the difference between the money that have a man and the beauty that have a woman? You know, because it's not you, because the beauty it's not you, because you're gonna lose it, because you're gonna die, you're gonna be old, you're gonna lose it, your beauty, your exterior beautiful. You can't possess it, and even money, and even so this is getting a good speech, all these things, I like this video, because when I do them I think, and many things that I say and then I think in the next days comes exactly from this video. It's not that I know these things and then I decide to make a video. No, no. I'm thinking and I'm speaking with you guys, but I'm alone. And I'm happy to spend 26 minutes like now, in total 2 hours of video, because I'm thinking. So I'm not wasting that. I'm not wasting time, absolutely. Even if I want to have a doctor, I want to be a doctor, and this is not helping to me to be a doctor in a kind way, absolutely yes, because I'm discovering myself and I'm trying to translate the word. Even if it's possible, I know it's impossible to translate the word, so why bother then? But I try to do it, because more I translate him, more I feel good, more I feel in peace. And that's obviously it's a little bit false illusion of the man, but maybe it's necessary for living. Sorry, my raining nose. Uh, what else? Nah, sorry. So even for a girl, it's very hard, because I see all these beautiful girls, no, but they are like 20 years old. They are like 19 years old, and they are not even that beautiful, because you know. Uh, the majority of girls that I see in the street of my age, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20, 25, 26 years, are beautiful, are fucking incredible. But then, when I go to the world, when I go in the streets, all of them are beautiful. But then, when I go always to the world, I walk and see women older than that, like 30, no, 30 are good, always good. It depends, obviously, but like 35, 40, 42, 38, they start to, I start to not watch to them, I start to not make the same thoughts. So I think about this. A life, for all of us, life is hard, and we have to fight, you know. I think even about this, that there is this thing about, that we are gonna win, and we're gonna win, and we have to win, because we have to fight, because we're gonna win at the end. I think that we are gonna lose, always we're gonna lose, and life is bigger than us, you know it can ups everything, because I hear a lot of stories, of people that i'm I'm of people like doing accidents, and accident that changed their lives completely. So life can change, and maybe yes, it's their fault because they went too fast, but it was just a second. It was a coincidence of things. That Carl that that went outside that street. It was that coincidence of thing that it's almost that you couldn't do much. But I think that I know that I'm the master. We are I'm the master of my destiny. But what I want to say that even for girls, if is hard, boys. It's hard, boys. And I do this for me because now you see the girls are really good, are beautiful, and all the men are see her. They have all the attention, all the status because it's social status. All thing that I want the attention, I want the girl, I want the status, and I don't have it. And I don't understand why these 19 years old girls that you know they are no person, normal person like me. They are not rich. They they do not go to the gym. They are not that so sophisticated, but they get all this attention. But man, I think that that is even harder because they are gonna lose that beauty, and it's for that reason that you see all these girls when they get older, like they are like super preoccupied and super focused on doing on with the creams and with the and going to the hair, let's call him a hair worker, to get the haircut and the nails, and the surgery, to back those to back to come back at those years where they were the most powerful. And when a woman is powerful, when he's beautiful, so the powerful of a woman, if it's only related to beautiful to beauty, and it's what nature gives her, it's very powerful. It's very powerful. Being beautiful, it's very powerful. I even see with myself. I consider I'm not handsome. I'm just a man. I'm just a man. Yes, but you know, uh, I pay attention to my aspect, and I see that when I look good, when I feel that I look good, people can feel that, and they act in a certain way. So imagine if you are a girl that you are built for being beautiful. You see, you are built for being beautiful. Imagine all the power. It's very big, but that is limited because as I said earlier, when you have it, like the most powerful, when that is when you are the most biological, and I already talked about this in other videos. So nature, what does that makes you, when you are more fertilized, uh, it makes you even it makes them more beautiful, so they can attract more and they can have kids. So men, so the men are attracted to them, and they make kids. Just that. So they and so why they are fertile, and why they are beautiful, because they have a lot of hormones that decide the everything everything in our body. I have this physique because I have high testosterone, only for that, and I have good hormones. I know that? Do I did I do analytics? No, I just see and I just feel it, and I just feel it. I see from my face, you know, how the beard is growing faster. I see it from my hair, from my body hair. I see from my physique, from my energy, from my immune system. Even if now it's fact, but that's I I'm quite sure because I ate potatoes that I never eat them, so that literally shocked my system. For the amido, I already said that in the other video. I like to repeat myself, I know. Um, uh, ooh, nothing. So it's it's sad because it's like now we see them that's very powerful, and we want them, and they don't want and they don't want us, and they want, you know, older men with money and with status, and we feel guilty, and we feel bad. But I say to myself, come on, man, this is beautiful, because you have time, and your time well, hasn't yet come. It's not that beautiful, they are at their best. You are not, and you are very good. So imagine what you can achieve, and when you're gonna be 30, 40, you're gonna be with that, you are gonna steal that university girls uh, to that 19 years old man that I'm 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 him now. But it's 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 right, because I I used to be that 19 years old man, and I used to suffer. So I think even that everything is balanced, everything is equal, you know. But if now, I don't work, I don't study, I don't try to I don't build nothing, I don't work hard, I'm not disciplined, and I don't build nothing. I'm gonna achieve, 30 years old, 28, 20, 26, you know, 20, yes, where I would be, I would to have at my peak condition, physically, financially, mentally, socially, and I will not, because I was too sad, I was too depressed, and I was, too focused on, on trying to have the things that a 30 years old man, a 26 years old man have, because he went through those experiences, while you, 19 years old man, absolutely not, you didn't do nothing. So it's all right. So now I know 100% if, if I study hard, if I focus myself, I focus on my goals, everything's gonna be okay. And I know 100% for sure that I'm gonna have all the girls I want, you know. So I will spend two more words for the girls. So I say that for the girls, he's powerful, is the is is sorry, is the beauty, and they are gonna end their beauty. So what what they can do to maintain that beautiful and be useful, be useful. I think a way is to have kids, because if you have kids, uh, you're gonna always stay with another man. I'm not saying that a woman need a man, absolutely not, absolutely not. He can earn his money. My mom is doing that. He doesn't need any man. My mom is doing that, for example. See, but what can do so a woman that is not more beautiful, what can do to not depends on his beauty, to earn money. And then it's always that, to earn money. If you earn money, you don't need to make you beautiful, to stay with a man that protects you financially and gives you food. You can do by yourself, and you can pay, yeah, like a young Latin to stay with you, or simply young Latin lover are going to you, women, because you have women, because you have money, so they just they will do, their role of the of usually what is about the girls. But I don't like to do roles, because I live in a family that, my mom is the exact opposite of what I'm saying. So I'm not saying, I'm not gonna say, about roles. I'm not, I don't believe in roles. Everybody can do what the fuck he wants, but I believe there are biological, that there are natural ways. I think that for a man is very natural, to be strong, to have the passion to fight and to conquer and to protect and to provide. You know, I think that it's a natural thing, and I think to be strong physically, and I think it's a natural thing about women to, to be, selfish. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying just what I see, that they are selfish, because if you think they have to they have to grow a baby inside them, so they have to be selfish, because if not, now we would be all dead, so they are selfish, that what they are very emotional, that is a very good thing. Emotions are good. Oh, they are very kind. They have really a positive energy. All this sort of they can cure a lot. Questa potenza della cura. You know, they have a good energy. I think that is a natural thing. If I see, it's always been like that. The man goes to war. The man goes to war. It's like, all right, it's my duty. But I don't think that the women before would think, oh, I want to go to war. I don't think that. I think that they would like, all right, my man have to go to war. I respect him. I know that he have to go because uh, I have to stay with our kids. I want to elevate them. I want to uh, grow them. I want to talk about their father. I know that I can do this better. I can do this better. I can do this better. I can show love better, and he can fight better. It's all about being used. It's all about being efficiency. Even our body works like in that way, in efficiency. I saw a video not a long time ago where it talked like that, staying 2 weeks in the bed, or living a really sedentary life. So now I started to be very very stand up. For example, today in the bus I was standing up, even if I wanted to sit. Even if now I'm sit, but I'm now more, more in a stand up position, uh, rather than sit. And I discovered by this video that, when you live a very sedentary life, or it was this experiment with where two guys, you know uh, stayed in bed for a long time, in total, like I think 1 month. And in the second week, when they got up, they felt super sick. The cardiovascular system, it wasn't efficient. The bone were completely, they were demineralizing. So minerals were going out. Muscle tone was absolutely, they lost a ton of muscle mass. They were more tired. Why that? Because the body says, all right, we are here. We don't have to move. I don't have to fatigue. He's not fatiguing, so I stop to I stop to produce all of these things for the bones, for the muscles, for the heart, for the lungs. So you start to get weaker. So it's all about efficiency. I think that the most efficiency, the most efficiency scenario for our biological traits, men and women, is that men goes to work and women, you know, women. I see women like uh, like a little not oracles, but like regenerative power, regenerative energy, regenerative. I see them like that. In fact, they can generate kids. We can do that, but we give. See, we give. We 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 go. We go. Nothing, guys. It's very late. I have to eat. I'm quite tired. I'm not tired, but I want to go to bed. I feel it now. My brain, I think that it was I think not my hypothesis. Come si chiama? Parà. Come si chiama? La ghiandola che secerneva melatonina, l'ormone del sonno. Melatonina non lo sappiamo tutti, ma forse che la ghiandola che la sappiamo tutti, no. Ecco, forse la ghiandola pineale è quella che secreta melatonina. Pineal gland that secerns melatonin, the molecule for regulates sleep cycles. No, for regulates, yes, to makes you feel tired and go to bed. These lights are not good for me because it makes me more alert. So guys, it's too much. I just want to say that. Really, and another thing that I was trying to say in the other video like 2 hours ago. Today I thought, but when I speak, for example, now I interrupt myself to speak about new things that comes to my mind while I speak, and then I go even further on that, and so on. So I I lose the first reason why I started. So here I am. Today walking to go to the English school for studying, I was thinking about Vini. You have to only focus on one thing, making money. Once you make money, once you have money, everything is easy. Everything is easier. So why you should focus on other thing if that even if you would obtain them, then uh, there is even the hardest thing to do and the most important thing to do in this world, that is money. So why don't you focus only about making money, only about becoming a doctor, only about you know building your profession, build your life, your economical life? Because if you do that, that is the hardest thing, and you win in that, then you win in any other fields like instantly. Because it's like, for example, it's like winning the World Cup and then do not win, the 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 national championship. You know, I know that it's not right the metaphor because in the World Cup plays national squad while in the national championship they play they play international squads. But the important thing that I can I can explain myself. So it's like, oh, obviously, no, if you put a squad that won the World Cup, it's obviously that it's gonna be able to win the 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 national championship. The probability are the highest for that squad. No, do you agree with me? Yes. Uh, while if you put the the squad that won the national championship and then you put them to play the World Cup, the most difficult championship of the world, it's pretty obvious, and you're gonna agree with me that the probability that that squad are going to win are much lower uh, than the probability of the squad that won the World Cup to win the national championship. So you understand me, right? Right. So it's the same thing. If you win with money, if you win with your life, with your profession, and you're happy with that, and you have that, and you focus on that, then everybody is going to come. And this is another thing that my father always used to say me this, and always says this to me. Being concentrate on studying, on finding a profession is the most important thing. Then everything is gonna come. Absolutely. I agree with this. Even if I didn't try it, even if, let's say, I didn't see it in a direct way, I agree with it. I know that. See, I even know that. God gives me everything. But I even know a email list. I have the email list of Andrew Tate. And one day he sent this email that was saying that, money, girls are that it's not exactly the same thing because I'm talking about getting money first, but he was saying that money girls are just things that are 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 in addition, and that is the most important thing is that you go outside and you fight with your best, with your best, at the most with with the most energy and most focus you can do with the most with the smartest you can be. That's the most important thing. Everything else is bonus. Echo. He utilized this word bonus. So even in this case, if you focus, exactly on studying, on building a profession, it's not about making money. It's about it's about developing a skill, knowledge, you know, capabilities to offer to the world. It's about that, and then the world, the people, is going to give you money. If you do that, then everything else is gonna come. It's gonna come. Obviously, money, and it's gonna come. Girls, status, cars, fame, popularity, all of that. Guys, my my belly hurts, and it's really late. I have to go. Bye.